There was a period last year where I didn't just feel hopeless. I actively planned to end my life. I'm not going to describe that period. What I want to talk about is what was on the other side of it and why I'm still here. To be or not to be? Shakespeare gave that question to Hamlet 400 years ago. And somehow it's still the most honest sentence ever written about what it feels like to stand at the edge of your own existence and genuinely wonder if continuing is worth it. Here's something strange I noticed when I was in that place. The thing that frightened me wasn't death itself. It was everything death would do to the people left behind. My children, my wife, the people who would carry that loss for the rest of their lives. Because I had already watched up close exactly what that looks like. My stepdaughter Rebecca took her own life, and I felt the full weight of what that does to the people who remain. So when I stood at my own edge, that knowledge was right there with me. And here's the philosophical strangeness I kept circling. Once you're actually gone, you can't feel the impact of being gone. You can't grieve your own absence. The thing that was holding me back, my love for the people I'd leave behind, my fear of their pain, exists entirely in the world of the living. Death doesn't experience consequences, only life does. I don't say that as permission for anyone to act on dark thoughts. I say it because sitting with that strangeness, honestly, is what eventually turned me around, not away from it. There's a chapter in the Tao Te Ching, chapter 50, that talks about moving between life and death without being ruled by fear of either. Coming out into life, going back into death. Lao Tzu wasn't writing a comfortable observation. He was describing something most of us spend our whole lives avoiding. Looking directly at the fact that we end and finding that the looking itself changes something. What changed for me wasn't deciding death was meaningless. It was the opposite. It was realizing that if death truly empties everything of meaning, then meaning is something only available here, now, in the part of this I still get to live. I stayed. Not because I found a clever argument against ending things. I stayed because somewhere in sitting with all of that, I found something I actually wanted. To watch my sons grow, to care for my father at the end of his road, to lead, to coach, to build something that might help someone else feel less alone in the dark than I felt. I'm not afraid of death the way I used to be. Chapter 50 didn't make me reckless about life. It made me grateful for it, in a way I'd never been before. If anything in this episode has touched something real for you, if you recognise that edge I'm describing, please don't sit with it alone the way I almost did. In the UK, you can call the Samaritans anytime, day or night, on 116123. Free, confidential, always there. This is Same Blood, Series 2, Episode 1. Release begins here, not with the absence of fear, but with finding something on the other side of it worth staying for. Same blood.